Yes, it's Wednesday. Yes, the best damn day of the week. Thanks for tuning in. This is OSD, Obsessive Sneaker Disorder, episode 330. Yes, do it for the gram. Do it for the gram. We're telling everyone. We want to tell the people to chill. We want to tell people to walk good, talk good, and all that good stuff with us. Man, hopefully you're ready to walk with us. We got a great show in store. My name is D. Wells, coming to you live and direct from the OSD studio. All the Sole Doctors and Disorderlies. Yes, we got a great show. Episode 330. This is called Do It for the Gram. The Instagram. People today, the fallout has been real. Yes, all the people that went out and bought bots and bought followers and have well over, I don't know, I can't even say a number, but let's just say realistically, okay, if you're not a celebrity or athlete or do something majorly important and you got well over 10,000 followers, but only like, I don't know, 35 or 40 likes on a picture, something ain't right. And do it for the gram. Today, Instagram rolled out. They're cleaning up. They're cleaning out their closet and then some. So this is that episode. We're going to talk about it, how some folks even as well buy sneakers, sell sneakers, all on Instagram. Some people buy a pair of sneakers and flip them in the same day. But we're going to get into that. But nonetheless, we got a good show in store for you. So hopefully you're ready to rock with us. If you have a particular Instagram account that you want to let us know about, hit us up at info@osdlive.com. Make sure you're following at OSD Live. Yes, the one and only. That is the one and only himself, Mr. Paper Chaser. As well as make sure you follow me, D Wells OSD. I'm real. You can see me.
Real people.
Real people. I ain't no bot. So, Paper Chaser, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yes, sir, it is. Welcome to episode number 330, Sneaker Lovers.
Yes, sir.
Doing it for the gram.
Doing it for the gram.
So, with that being said, and as D. Wells alluded to for episode number 330, do it for the gram. We're just going to put this little piece of news up right here and screen share this right now to show you guys how serious the homie Ree with Sneds is. There we go.
Money. He is so money.
The latest dropped just 2 hours ago.
What do we call it? What's he calling it? The IG enema?
Yeah.
Ree, you're a fool for that one.
Word up. IG
man.
enema.
This world needs an enema. Wasn't that a famous line from a Batman movie? Man, here comes Ree. Sneds, right on target.
Word up. Shout out to Ree. Also, I got to make sure, D. Wells, we got a lot to discuss before people come in.
Absolutely, we do. So they'll get the late pass, but that's okay.
Yeah, they'll get the late pass, but also we got to spread the word and the news about Laced Up. Right, ladies and gentlemen, the sneaker documentary Laced Up is out. It is now available for pay-per-view streaming on laced-up.com, $9.99. Watch that joint right there. Produced by Tippy Walk Productions, Sean David, Brian Payne. Whole lot of good folks in that movie, including the very talented Ree of Sneds, Freehand Prophet. So many more talented individuals and passionate sneaker lovers and just overall good people in that movie. It's available now. Make sure you get that. Go over to laced-up.com. It's right there on the first page, splash page. You can't miss it. Pay-per-view screening of Laced Up. So please support this independent production, which is technically speaking and realistically speaking the first feature-length documentary about sneakers in 10 years. So you guys, please make sure you check this one out. All right, so that's some more internet news and Instagram news. Next up, we gotta talk money, and then we can get into all the other debaucherous madness that people know us to get into.
Mm-hmm.
Today was a bloody day, D. Wells.
Ooh, wow.
Today
What's going on?
was a bloody day.
Only one that's up, and the Nike, the swoosh was the only one up, and up 63 cents. Wow.
So OSD, hashtag OSD Invest. The results of these 10 stocks that we watch are published on on Facebook, on Google Plus, and on Twitter, soon to be Instagram. The results of these 10 stocks we watch are published Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or later. So we're just going to call them off. Only one up, as D. Wells stated, was Nike, who finished at $97.66 per share, up 63 cents per share today. We got Skechers, who started off the bloodbath party, the zombie march. They finished at $58.70 per share, down $1.31 per share. Vanity Fair Corporation, VF Corporation, finished at $72.64 per share, down 54 cents per share. Under Armour said, we're going to match you in the loss column. They finished at $67.80 per share, but also down 54 cents per share on the day. Deckers Outdoor Corporation, it's UGG season again, but even that couldn't help them because they finished still a strong $95.86 per share, but they lost $1.75 per share on the day. Foot Locker Incorporated finished at $56.02 per share, down 47 cents per share. Adidas on the OTC markets, who will be in later news today that we talk about on the show. They finished at $35.82 per share, down $1.01. Puma AG on the ETR market finished at 172.50 in euros, down 250. eBay Incorporated on the NASDAQ finished at $55.27 per share, down 13 cents per. And Finish Line Incorporated, also on NASDAQ, finished at $27.95 per share, down 36 cents per share. So, a bloody day on the market for the footwear stocks. Once again, we publish the results of these 10 stocks that we, only us and OSD watch. And we publish the results every day, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or later on Google+, Facebook in the OSD group, and also on Twitter through OSD Live. So it's a bad day as an example of what we always say, but the truth is you got to be in on the other side of the game. So hashtag OSD Invest. Hit us up, info@OSD Live, and we'll show you exactly what to do so that you can get a little bit of money into this side of the game. You will not regret doing that, especially as you get older. So take heed now. It's going to be too late to get in a little later.
Exactly.
So what do you think about all that bloody mess, D. Wells?
Man, I didn't realize the market was that off today. So
it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, we talked about this last episode 329, where not only Kevin Plank but a number of Under Armour, executives were dumping stock left and right. And actually, I was having a conversation over the weekend with actually a UA executive, a friend of the show, Paper, and he was like, "Word, I need to go look at my stock because I might need to do some cashing out." So we'll see. Well, but swoosh was the only one up.
Yeah.
This is the holiday season. I mean, Christmas is right around the corner.
Yes, it is.
So hopefully we'll see a bounce back. I mean, we keep seeing gas prices. I mean, a lot of people don't think like, okay, this is all correlated. There's some overlap, but we know gas prices in the United States across the board have been going down. I mean, some places we're seeing, under $2.60 for 87 octane right now.
Yeah.
That means money that you normally would be spending to put fuel in the car, you could actually now go and buy that Christmas present, those pair of sneakers, or travel, or who knows, maybe give some money to a charity?
Possibly.
Or
So you're
save
saying they're using
save
the
it for a
extra
rainy
savings to
day.
splurge?
Or
Oh, no saves.
what were you saying, Show?
I was saying, you saying that they're using the extra money from gas to splurge?
To splurge, yeah. People are, robbing from Peter to pay Paul.
Word.
You know. And Jesse, welcome, man.
What's going on, Jeff?
And welcome, Jesse. What's good?
Save your money.
Save your money.
You know what I mean? We're in those days. If you're not paying attention right now, then something's going on. We're in those days. You know what I mean? They're separating the have from the have-nots. You know, we're about to have a Republican House again. Put that stuff away. You know what I mean? Less consumerism, more peopleism. You know what I'm saying? Let's have some presence. Let's be a part of each other's lives. Let's travel. Let's do things as a culture that we don't normally do. Let's go to places we haven't gone. Let's not continue to stock our closets with name brands that don't give a shit about us. It doesn't make any sense.
Word up.
Amen.
No, don't get me wrong. Don't go out and get something you like. Treat yourself. Don't get me wrong. But you don't need every release.
True. Especially these releases that are going for like well over $200 a pop. I'm like,
and they're only gonna go up, so just stop it.
Word up. So as we are here, episode number 330, do it for the gram. Here we have one of the stories that broke on Instagram yesterday.
Get that money, yo.
Nike has filed a lawsuit against Mark Dolce, Dennis Dekovic, and Mark Minor for over $10 million in damages.
And I think it was Dr. Jesse who predicted this forthcoming lawsuit when the defection happened. I think it was either you, Jesse, or Dr. Ridiculous. I remember we had a healthy debate, and we were like, watch. You know the swoosh is going to go after them.
I can't remember if it was Ridiculous or me, but I think I know we did talk about it because, I'm in the heart of it out here. So when I spoke to some people offline, somebody was like, "Hey, get your shine on," but was the announcement and the cohesiveness of an event? It was like when LeBron did the event. I'm going to Miami. It's like, yo, are you stupid? Like, really?
They made a big deal. Too big of a deal.
Yeah, you immediately drew attention to you, and when you do that, they start scrubbing those email accounts. They start checking those phone records. They start seeing how many times you came in later that day, or did you take off a day in the middle of the week, and where did you go? And, people start putting things together. They'll find any kind of reason. And, we know the swoosh got money for lawyers to do that. So it's like...
Yep.
But these allegations, though, Paper, and you're probably going to allude to it, did you read the actual document that was sitting out? It's actually, you can actually find it under Oregon. I think I have to find the link now. Oregon law or something. Actually, you can actually read the PDF file of the suit. And they're basically saying that not only did these three cats basically take their talents to the Three Stripes,
they took trade secrets.
They took trade secrets and took old designs. And basically equivalent to about $10 million. And I'm like, okay, if anyone's leaving, anyone that's been in any corporate America job, when you've left, if you've been in sales and you take your contacts and stuff like that, you've been smart enough to like back them up and have them offline. But are these guys going to be stupid enough to take designs from Nike and try to walk them into Adidas and say, let's just do this and take the swoosh off and put Three Stripes here? I don't know. They're trying to play these three cats. That's what. These
these non-competes out here are serious. I didn't really know what a non-compete was until I got out here and understood what it was about. I mean, they're everywhere, especially with so many agencies being a part of the services that help these companies. So they can write things into those non-disclosures that really bottle you up. And so in terms of like what would be considered a trade secret, if one of these guys went to Adidas and said, hey, you know what, your production at this factory is wrong because if you do it this way, you'll get a better finish on this shoe and it'll look better. You know what I mean? That's what they could be talking about. Just simple conversations. They can be like, you can't talk to people, you can't advise people, you can't do any of that. That's all. Your whole intellectual being is our property. And so now that I'm thinking about it, it sounded like Ridiculous was the one who talked about it, because you have to pay attention to what that's in that non-compete. And I guarantee you, Nike grabbed it and went through it with a fine-tooth comb. And if they're, they almost, it's in his book, and I don't know if anybody has written it, but they almost fired Howard H. White.
Oh, yeah.
They almost fired H. White for having a conversation over dinner with somebody from Adidas. So, like, dude, it's pretty serious in their world.
Well, here's the thing. There's a fine line between being able to share your experience and what classifies as a trade secret. If Nike's going to be able to say that what these three guys who have a lot of experience have shared with Adidas was a trade secret over just outright experience, and they win that, good luck.
I don't think Nike is going to win this lawsuit. I really don't.
The reason why I say that is, again, these guys, the three of these guys, God only knows how many billions of dollars in product their pen is behind. And for them to have conversations about what their experience is as designers, there's a fine line between classifying their experience as a creative type as a trade secret and someone who works in a different division of Nike who has no talent at all saying what goes on in operations in their world. So if Nike can justify that, more power to them. But these three guys are creative types. And all they have to do is say, we were having creative discussions with them, and the nature of those discussions, and if their attorneys are good enough, that lawsuit's getting thrown out, if those are the kind of trade secrets we're talking about. Now, if it is actual property, as in designs, that were taken over to Adidas, or moved away from Nike and taken over to Adidas, that's kind of hard to defend, because we all know from people who have left Nike in the past, some other people who have left Nike in the past, whose pen was also behind a lot of great product over there, that when they walked out, they didn't touch anything.
Right.
They left everything right there. So it's going to be interesting to see what the angle is and what truth there is to the alleged allegations and what details the trade secret infringement.
Well, from what I'm reading, while these three guys were still at Nike, they conspired to make their Adidas version of Innovation Kitchen here in Brooklyn.
Right.
And that's while they're still there. So that right there is, I'm pretty sure Nike's looked deep into that before they just going to throw out a lawsuit. Not to mention, if you have a non-compete, how are you actually going to go to another sneaker company within a year? You left in September. We're in December. Like, I don't understand that part. Not to mention that guy Dennis copied his laptop before he left. He copied everything on his laptop. And I'm pretty sure his laptop had some Nike stuff on it.
And that's what it is. You copy your laptop, and I've heard some other industries. You pull, I've heard from other PLMs and other companies. You pull your decks, the decks that you made. You try to copy those and take those with you. I mean, that's nothing new within the industry. You know what I'm saying? It's what's coming to the forward to people right now is the language in the non-compete, and that's what Ridiculous was talking about. If the language says, even as a creative, we own the intellectual and physical property that you create while you're an employee for us, then they might have a case. It doesn't matter if it's a conversation or not. It's in the non-compete.
They definitely.
I'm pretty sure Nike owns that.
They definitely have a case if it's tangible proof of that. They definitely do.
And
like I said, we know people who've left and backed away from the call.
Immediately too.
Well, these guys are none of them are working right now. As soon as they let that go, they've been off. And I think their non-competes are 6 months to a year. I know other guys out here that have been sitting out for like 6 months, but I'm sure they're sitting out right now. They're not working now.
Yeah, but the non-compete doesn't end until September 2015.
Yeah, these guys non-compete is a year. I think the issue came from when there's too many details about what happens after the non-compete. That's what raised the flags. We know too much about what they're going to be doing before they're doing it.
Yeah.
I think that angered Nike.
Now, all right. I'm reading the actual lawsuit, and it says
screen share, Joe, if you can.
Let me see. Hold on.
If you can't, then just put the link in the chat, and I'll share it.
All right, let me put the link in here.
So as you talk,
it says in April 2014, April of this year, that's when the three guys began a campaign to promote their independent design studio venture. So if you didn't leave Nike until September, how is you promoting the independent design studio in April, and they're going to use that with Adidas as soon as you leave? That sounds funny. That sounds almost like the big three going to Miami. I don't know. Something about that just doesn't seem right.
You know what? You're right. It doesn't sound funny. But we're talking about the court of law. So if in the court of law, they can have all the conversations they want about having an independent thing, but the minute they did their whole "I'm going to Miami South Beach," it's like, there was no independent going on. You had it
exactly.
So because of that attention, I'm taking that money.
That's like, it's like, come on, who are you lying to?
Like,
son.
Really?
Come on, now.
Come on, son.
This is funny,
man.
Is that up in the chat right now? I need to know
where's
that link at.
Dennis Dokovic, Mark Dolce, and Mark Miner. Wow.
Up on screen now, also.
$10 million. Breach of duty of loyalty. That's and breach of duty of good faith and fair dealing.
Right. Yeah.
It says.
That's crazy.
Fraud. The defendants knew. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Show.
Oh no, I was just saying that the conspirators pitched the concept of a supposedly innovative independent design studio to Adidas, which defendants sweetened with promises to bring a wealth of information and knowledge that will give Adidas the advantage. Now, I hope they didn't email any of this, because if they was emailing, then that's just retarded. Because how would Nike know that actual lingo that they use? It's not like they're tracking phones. This has to be emailed or something. How would you know exactly what they told?
They had work phones. You know what I mean? And what's the purpose of of having of copying your laptop?
Yeah, backing up your laptop is funny leaving any company. Like, let me just back up this whole thing. Listen, you know what they just did, right? For everybody else that's working there, it's gonna be a lot harder. Nike is gonna be Big Brother in the sky. Gonna have more cameras than casinos.
Yeah, they've already got that place on lockdown.
Everything is gonna be on lock.
You
own nothing.
They've already redesigned the Jordan area and Mia Hamm buildings. There's an actual security guard the whole time, all day long. And they have those things kind of like when you're at the airport, metal detectors.
Yeah.
They have detectors you have to walk through if you're going to go into those buildings.
Wow, that was nothing like when we went there. That's crazy.
That happened as soon as those dudes did that whole deal with the samples.
Oh,
And I was in there about a week ago, and I saw in the lobby going into the Jordan building and Mia Hamm are completely different now.
A lot has changed. So again, on screen, this is a copy of.
Yeah. I hope y'all screen roll it. Y'all reading this, or you're like from the link scrolling down or something? Because while still employed by Nike and Adidas request, defendants began, in their own words, doing work for Adidas as consultants to develop the blueprint for the design studio concept, including. Now wait a minute. While employed by Nike, these three guys, in their own words, admitted to doing work for Adidas as consultants. How? I'm confused at that.
Yeah, how would they do that? Like, why were they? Are they that? They're not that stupid.
I think one of them is stupid and told on the other two, because there's no way.
There's a snitch.
All three of them are not that dumb. This is
We
like
have
the
to
first
be
48.
careful because we're gonna get Wells upset because there's a lot.
No. I don't think.
There's a lot of evidence coming out here.
I've met these three cats. I've met these two dudes. They're not smart. They're not dumb. They're very smart.
Well, so one of them, all it takes is one.
True. There's always like that weak link, man.
Yep,
why is that?
You know what this is? You know what this is? This has nothing to do with any of the three of them. This is that one or two haters that sat a seat or two over.
And they just like,
yo, here's my shot. Because I'm not good enough or quick enough to get the job.
So I'm gonna take it down.
I'm gonna roll over on somebody else. I'm in.
Or if we want to keep doing conspiracy, This could be that other designer that they wanted to also bring from Nike. Come with us. We doing this, that, and the third. And that person decided, you know what? No, I'm going to let you three go. And then tell. I'm going to raise. I'm going to give this bonus.
So they're pulling a Samuel L. Jackson in 12 Years a Slave?
Pretty much.
Okay.
So,
damn.
They got that Django thing.
Come on, boss.
Somebody pulls somebody in office is like, hey, let's have a talk.
You know, they offered me to be with them, but I turned it down.
But I turned it down because I'm so loyal.
I'm so loyal to you.
I love you.
Exactly. I want all three of their raises. Let me get their pays.
Yeah, that's exactly. Crazy. Cut the check, literally. Man.
Come on. I just scrolled down. I couldn't believe reading that.
Jesse, please keep us up to date on this lawsuit, what you're hearing, especially because it's in your backyard. So please, let the OSD, crew as well as Disorderlies, keep us up to date on this story, because this
I know it,
this is going to be interesting, and I'm supposed to be at some point venturing out there, hopefully in January, for a big sit-down interview with some Nike folks. So man. Yeah.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how this it's going to be a shake down or shake out.
Well, this brings a lot of stuff to the forefront. I mean, these conversations, this attitude, the way that these guys felt about what they were doing there. Mark Minter did the free, but Mark Minter wasn't, the running category was still suffering, and then Dolce and the other dude, Dolce was really doing a little bit with sportswear and the penny line, but what was going on after that? You know what I'm saying? So when you lose your shine, when all of a sudden you might not be the hot ticket over there, all of a sudden you're like, well, what, I'm chopped liver? And so this is definitely representative of an attitude, a creative attitude out here between employee and employer. And if this is how I'm going to get treated as an employee, I need to be doing my own thing. I might not necessarily know how to do that, but I need to be doing my own thing, and I need to get paid for my worth. And I'm sure Ridiculous can attest to this. If you don't know, if you don't have the legal and blueprints behind some of this stuff, you can get caught up by these big monsters. You know what I mean? They've got the time to sue you for $10 million.
Well, hold on a second.
And also,
Ridiculous.
What's up, everybody? My apologies.
How are you?
My apologies for the tardiness. I was getting it in. I don't wear.
You were showing off on the gram already.
Exactly. You were sweating and everything. We saw you.
Right. I don't wear it for show. I got salt stains on this joker. What Jesse is saying is absolutely true. It's funny. I just put a post like this up on my site regarding working for multiple clients versus the one big entity that services other clients. If you've got that Jones and that bug to be an independent and do your work for another entity separately, you have to be up on your legal, and you have to know that the conglomerate company, the bigger entity, is always going to hold those cards if you signed a contract to stick with them. Even if you leave in proper order, you put your 2 weeks in or whatnot, even in that case, you have to read the fine print because your ideas don't belong to you anymore. I went through this instance with a company that was helping when we were first building Connoisseur. And I had to go through the contract with a fine-tooth comb to make for certain that Paper, I think we talked about this a little bit. They had I let that contract go, they would have owned every single idea that Ridiculous did, having nothing to do with the app development of Connoisseur, because the verbiage in the contract, whether malicious or just an oversight on their part, said from that moment anything worked on, even on my own personal computer, on my own personal time, so they would end up owning my client's work.
So that's the standard at Apple. Did you guys know that? So if you're an Apple employee, if you work 5 hours for Apple, one of the first things they have you sign is the development non-compete, and it's very clear. I mean, when I first started with Apple, when I had that opportunity, I wasn't the most tech-savvy guy in the world, but I knew right from wrong. And it said very clearly, anything in development, anything you come up with, development-wise, that has to do with an app or software or anything like that is ours.
Yep.
No questions asked. And I was like,
one thing I like about Apple in that sense is they make they make millionaires of the people that come from the outside. Like if you're an employee in Apple, don't tell nobody your ideas because they gonna get them.
Oh, is that how it works?
But if you work from outside of Apple, I've brought up the example many times, the iTunes example. The guys who develop SoundJam, sitting pretty. The guys who developed, Photo Booth, sitting pretty. All of these things were external from Apple. Apple said, let us just make you a millionaire and you can sit inside here and work on that all day long. Like they'll buy your idea, your company, and you and set you up to be clean if you come from external. If you're internal, good luck. They got your ideas.
Man, look, see, they're all over. They're everywhere.
Well,
Damn
I'm gonna put this back up on the screen, right?
Do it for the gram.
I put this back up on the screen. Shout out to Ree and Sneds. Shout out to Brendan, who's watching right now.
I love that.
Now, check this out. While that's up on screen, I'm going to read this quote that's actually from the Nike lawsuit. While the Ree cartoon is on the screen, this is an excerpt from the Nike lawsuit.
I think you read what I'm looking at right now. Go ahead.
Dekovic and Doke agreed on a plan to pay for Instagram and Twitter followers to artificially inflate perceptions of their popularity and manufacture credibility among their social media followers.
Wow.
And major sportswear companies, including Adidas. An analysis of defendants' public Instagram and Twitter pages using third-party software that can detect purchase followers shows that more than 85% of the defendants' followers were purchased.
We went from ass shots to fake followers.
Do it for the gram.
Now, Reed cartoon strip could not have been more timely.
Is perception reality?
I think in the virtual world there's a huge gray area.
Yeah.
Because here's what those people will argue is that even though you may have used some kind of software to get noticed, those people still have the ability to unfollow you.
Yeah, but a lot of people just don't care to. They just that's an extra step.
You're right. Yeah. I'm just saying that this is the get ready for that defense. And since we're talking legal, get ready for the defense that somebody's gonna say, so what? I used an app and I paid for some followers.
Ridiculous. Okay, so I've got to ask: do you know anyone? Do you personally know anyone that's paid for followers?
I personally do not know anyone that's paid for followers.
I don't either.
Again, the gray area is going to be.
Hold on a second. Let me correct everyone on that. We all know somebody that's paid for followers. They're just never going to admit it.
Strippers?
Fair enough.
You think? Okay.
Let's be absolutely 100% above board on that. All of us know somebody who's paid for followers, but they will never admit it.
See, I could go with that.
We don't MSU here. We don't bullshit. That's exactly
I gotta think about my people though.
That's what Sean has said.
My thing is, I don't knowingly know them, but you're right. I bet I know somebody.
Right? Yeah, true.
But I don't knowingly know because again,
so
the gray area is people are gonna call it marketing. People are gonna call it SEO. This is the app version of SEO.
Right.
There's no gray area. If you know that a certain number of followers is going to get you the opportunity to do something, and someone comes to you and says, I can get you that number next week, versus you putting in the effort to actually show you're that good, you're going to do it.
But what I'm saying is, I don't disagree with that. I don't think
steroids in the world of social media.
Yes.
Is this the Ben Johnson? Are we at the Ben Johnson moment? Are we having let's be honest.
Yes, we are. Yes.
The reason I liken it to SEO, using an industry term, is just like Jesse says. Somebody says, "Hey, I can get your numbers up. I can get you noticed." Again, if this is SEO for your website, you're gonna pay for that, and nobody's gonna call you wrong. But because social media
marketing.
is about likes and dislikes, there's a high school popularity contest to it. It's the same damn thing as SEO for a website. We just don't like that because we're talking likes versus business, but it's the same plane of existence.
I just want y'all to know my phone is going crazy over here.
Mine is too. I'm like looking over. Yeah, I'm with you. People are watching and definitely chiming in. So
that's wild.
Yo, my phone is going crazy over here right now.
Ridiculous. Did you see the link in chat?
I did see that.
Let's talk about it. This is great.
I'm reading this. This is bad. This is looking real bad.
Listen,
it's so many things that they got directly somehow from these three guys' mouths. It's saying defenders shared with one another that they didn't really want to work for Adidas, but had agreed to since their money can allow us to shortly own our own business. Defenders viewed their time at Adidas as merely a step towards creating a truly independent design studio. Fearing that their work for Adidas while still employed at Nike was unlawful and in clear breach of their non-compete agreement with Nike, defenders decided that they need to get Adidas to confirm and get in writing that Adidas will offer them legal support and cover the lawyer fees with Nike if Nike ever discovered their disloyalty and deception. Defenders showed a copy of their Nike non-compete agreements to Adidas. Does Nike have like bugs on people or something?
They got a chip. They got a chip in you.
Were they working like a fuel band or something while they was doing all this?
Yeah, exactly.
That NS ain't Nike sportswear. That's NSA.
Yeah, that fuel band told them everything.
It's real out here. The second and third biggest employer in the state. It's real. No question about it. Yes, sir.
And trust, they come from the Steve Jobs school, bro. They will cut you.
They put that chip in your neck. You don't even know it.
Wow. Don't think Apple got great by Steve Jobs being nice. And Steve Jobs, we all know that story, how he dealt it straight to Nike. Like, do this, don't do that.
Yo, straight up.
But here's the snitch part.
Okay, here we go.
told Dolce & Gabbana that he would get all the files from his laptop and then send it back to Nike. How does Nike know he told these two people that? Somebody is telling.
They got somebody giving up.
Somebody is telling.
They're like,
this is the first 48, and somebody told in the first 2.
Yo, we cannot have a paid in full situation going on right now.
Somebody is telling. Listen, days before leaving Nike, Dekovic told Nike his laptop had stopped working. He took that broken laptop to an independent contractor and had the contents of his Nike-issued laptop copied, including thousands of proprietary documents related to Nike's global soccer footwear product lines. He then returned the broken laptop to Nike without uttering a word about the copy he made. In addition, just 3 days before leaving Nike, Dolce sent an email to his personal email account with highly confidential design drawings related to an as yet unreleased shoe design for one of Nike's sponsored athletes.
If you did that,
note to all creatives out there. If you want to work for somebody, work for somebody. If you want to be a contractor, and I got this information straight from a mentor, her name is Kelly Godo. Thank you, Kelly. She said, if you don't want to start a company, if you don't want to be an employee, be an independent contractor, get your business in order so that you can work for anybody. And if somebody tries to bully you into that, you hold firm and you say, I am an independent contractor or consultant. If those guys had that claim, they could walk with all of their info and they could have negotiated their contract. But instead, they're employees.
They're employees of the company.
He said his laptop was broken
and they took it somewhere. Yeah.
So you know what happened, right? When he brought back that laptop, Nike checked it, probably was like, okay, we see that something's moved, copied.
You know what this is going to do, though? This is legendary status. Adidas, if they are smart, and that's been up for debate when it comes to their marketing, if they're smart, I'd twist the knife on this one. I'd twist the knife on this. Oh, absolutely, dude. This is beautiful PR. That's beautiful PR. Nike, you took us to court in our own home country because we had a dope idea. Now we got your designers and you're trying to sue designers. All that means is we got what you want.
Yo,
where's me?
Press is press. Like you
said,
press is press. You know what? If you're trying to change your brand, you're trying to change your direction, get on it. You want to know the American consumer? You want to get a part of the American culture? Get on it.
Yep.
So let me ask you all something. After, if Nike sues them or whatever, let's say it's for $10 million, I think, right? What is it?
Right, 10 million. Yeah.
All right. After that, these guys could then go work for Adidas after that lawsuit is cleared up? If they do lose?
It depends on the stipulation. Nike could call them on back home begrudgingly.
Wow.
And say you can't go. Nike could just go ahead and try to squash their careers. Nike don't need the money. This is in principle.
Yeah.
It's in principle right now.
So what's probably going to happen more than anything is Nike's going to try and shut down their intellectual property. They can go, but they got to go dry, or they can keep their ideas and come on back home. They're gonna make it one of those real tough calls on them.
You never take the re-offer, so we know that never ends well. So that means they have to go. Which again, I don't. These
Ridiculous.
guys.
How do you go dry?
What it say?
How do you go dry?
Basically, what they do is they'll say return everything. If you can remember what it looks like out of your own head, feel free. But return everything, all assets, all documents, anything on the drawing board. You know, I've seen it where the defendant would have to show proof and say, what are you working on right now? If you're not cheating, if you're not stealing, if you don't have our ideas, show us your next 3 years of development so we can pick and say maybe that, maybe that, maybe that. Sometimes you gotta open
that opens that. Talk about opening your portfolio. That leaves you wide open, though.
It does. It does leave you wide open. And a lot of times, that's if this was the music industry and paper, correct me if I'm wrong, that's where copyright, poor man's copyright, you got a date, stamp, and proof that you recorded that thing at this time. Sometimes you have to show proof in order to keep those ideas in the hopper, you know? So going dry means they would have to, if they kept going, if they wanted to keep skating, they would have to go hat in hand with nothing else. No ideas, no nothing. Start exactly from zero, scratch by proof. Return everything. Hard drives, everything wiped clean. I've seen it mandated where artists have literally their whole portfolio ripped away from them
because
start free and clear.
Wow. Well, we definitely gonna keep our eyes on it.
It gets dirty, man.
No.
Like even in the sense of like smaller independent designers like myself. I saw there's a dude in Brazil, one in Portugal, one in Italy, had a logo I had done for a client. Now, international,
you posted that.
International law is hard to chase these cats down, so it's hard to stop them. That's why so many knockoffs are in China, because really we have no grounds in China to stop them if that that mold got over there. So it's tough to defend once it's out there. So it gets dirty. That's why bigger companies like Nike and Apple and these, they got lawyers and upon lawyers on retainer, because communications law is a tricky bitch.
Wow.
Man, oh man.
Education on OSD. I hope you're listening.
Absolutely. Well, we lost Paper for a quick second. He's gonna be jumping back on. We got to talk about this new one today, and I all of a sudden my email inbox was flooded from Reebok stuff. This one caught me by surprise. I'm not gonna lie.
Very much
Kendrick Lamar signs an official endorsement deal with the Reebok Classics, not just Reebok, but Reebok Classics. And this was some big news. Let me grab a link where this was posted earlier today. What do folks think, though? I mean, is this a good move on Kendrick's point?
Of
course, it's a good move on Kendrick's point. You gotta get paid.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a good move from Kendrick's camp, but from his perspective, you can't be Mr. Underground and then sign a deal. You're done. Your underground credibility goes out the window when you cash checks like that.
I only beg to differ, because Kanye is a backpacker that's cashing mad checks.
But Kanye ain't a backpacker, bro. Like we can call him that because he started in them days of Rocka when he was begging to get in the door. But as soon as that dude got that chain, your boy wasn't no backpacker no more.
Well, same thing's gonna happen to Kendrick.
Absolutely, it is. But that's what I'm saying is when you look, for all the fans that Kanye got after he got megastar, he lost his backpacker following. There's those that will tell you. Even Hov said it about Weezy. He's like, what's that line where he said, I might give this one to the mixtape Weezy?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Because when you go mainstream, you got to lose the backpacker image. It's false anymore.
Right. Sure.
So once he goes this direction, that's fine. Personally, I don't agree with artists like this signing contracts with fitness companies and that kind of thing. I love a good collaboration, especially from an artistic person. I figure if you are creative in all realms. I don't think, much like the talk we had with DE when we were up in Portland. If you are creative, be creative. If you are a designer, say you are a designer. You can design words, you can design product, you can design anything. I agree with that. But when you're signing these deals, these contracts like this, you go from pushing an idea or a collaboration or a special product to pushing a line straight across the board. Now you're signed on like an athlete. What is it you're endorsing for that product, for that line, for that company straight across the board? I don't know. I'm on the fence about it when artists like this sign contracts. We talked about it not long ago when it was something like this. We're like, actually with Kanye, absolutely with Kanye. When we were talking about how come he didn't get a contract like a LeBron or a Kobe, bro? Because you're not an athlete.
You bring up so many key points that I hadn't processed quite yet. And now I'm looking at this picture. You got a picture of Kendrick. You've got the Reebok logo, but when you break it even down from more of the conversations we had, there's a lot about this that's all wrong, and it can be right, but it's all wrong. And I don't know if Reebok can do it yet. You've got the new logo, not the classic logo, and the new logo is supposed to be associated with fitness and CrossFit.
Very, very CrossFit. Yep.
Not Kendrick Lamar. So unless you're gonna use Kendrick Lamar music to inspire CrossFit, second of all, classics have to be classics. So you can only put him in certain shoes. You can't innovate anything for him. He has to be in classics. So all you're talking about is older shoes with new materials.
Yep.
It's limiting. It's like, okay. So,
and is it the kind of match? And again, I don't blame Reebok for going after somebody like this who is a lightning rod for attention and artistic ability and all of this. He was on Saturday Night Live. He's creeping out of backpacker syndrome into mainstream. But when you look at the connection from Kendrick's standpoint, again, now you're endorsing a line, a company straight across the board. Are your followers so with you that they're not going to switch up? Kendrick said Reebok, we do Reebok. That goes against the very mentality of a backpacker and his fans who are independent, not part of the system. I'm looking at guys like Kendrick, like Murs, like Childish Gambino. They preach this independence, this individuality, this artistic, open nature, and now you're endorsing a singular company and a singular product. Are your fans going to go along with you or be like, bruh, good luck in the mainstream?
It's clear that the Reebok and even some other companies aren't really sure how to handle the creative part of endorsing somebody like this. And when you think about not necessarily the big three, but you think about what 50 did with Reebok back in the day. I'm going with you. I'm gonna shout you out for a little while, and then I'm out because I'm wearing what I want to wear, no matter what I wear. You know what I mean? You look at what Jay did. Jay had a contract with Reebok, but then he was taking pictures in Air Force Ones. To this day, Jay is going to wear what he wants to wear no matter who he's got a contract with. So once you get that kind of clout, sneaker companies don't really know what to do because it doesn't matter what you've already signed a contract. He's already getting paid. Your brand can go to shit, and it doesn't matter.
And a good juxtaposition of this right here is Pharrell and Adidas.
Exactly.
He signed on to do specialties, bringing his fans, bringing his attention for a short period of time, a burst, almost like a little capsule. Is Kendrick's going to be a capsule, or is he an artistic athlete for Reebok?
This is difficult for Reebok. You look at it in a couple different ways, you're like,
if it was a Kendrick capsule, I'd be all thumbs up for it.
Yeah. If Kendrick was smart, Kendrick wouldn't say a word about Reebok. he'd just let it ride, and he'd force them to create dope classics for him to wear, but he would not talk about it. I wouldn't say a word about being signed or a Reebok athlete. I'd do photo shoots, and I'd demand top-notch product that you can't get just anywhere. And I'd be a part of the strategy with distribution. Other than that, that's it.
Yep.
Well, let's switch gears. We're talking about Instagram. We're talking about doing it for the gram. This is episode 330. Okay? So we found out that there was some craziness going on where a guy down in Memphis, Tennessee, and we do know, right? There are a number of Nike distribution centers there in Memphis, Tennessee. There was a man accused of trying to steal nearly $1 million worth of LeBron James's sneakers, basically trying to hit a tractor trailer load of kicks. So this homie got busted though. He got put on blast on Front Street, and I want to actually play the news report from this TV Channel 5 down in Memphis, Tennessee, because yes, we have to put this out there. There's no other way to say, but you have to see it in order to believe it. So hold on one second. I'm gonna actually screen share this bad boy, because this is like, talk about doing it for the gram. This dude is just trying to do it for the truckload of kicks, $1 million worth, and then some. Oh, Google Plus, man, love you so. Dirty wine for me, no? See? See? You don't like me tonight. Yes, me accept you. We love you. Oh. All right, hold on now. Now we go. Hold on. See, it doesn't want to work for me. Paper, what's going on? Why does she not want to work for me?
Yo.
Bear with me here, y'all.
Yeah, I'm back. My mouse crapped out. Sorry, y'all. My mouse couldn't take all of that heat tonight.
There we go. So here we go. Listen, y'all. Here we go.
After a Memphis man tried to steal a trailer worth thousands of LeBron James' new sneakers.
WMC Action News 5's Kanji Anthony has more on the failed attempt and how a highly trained team tracked down the suspect.
Nearly $1 million in the new LeBron James sneakers vanished, but the thief didn't get too far thanks to a new task force. Sneaker lovers say the new LeBron 12 shoes are all the talk.
It's a very popular shoe.
They can go for $250 a pop. They may do tricks. I don't know.
A lot of sneakerheads think it's very worth paying that much money for a shoe.
But investigators say Charles Jennings didn't want to buy the shoes. He wanted to make money off of them.
Stole a trailer full of LeBron James tennis shoes, which the value was somewhere between $700 and $1 million.
It happened right before Nike was to release the shoes to the open market last month. The Cargo Task Force says it learned Jennings, an Intermodal Cartage Group employee, used his own ID card to leave work with the cargo in tow. They caught him allegedly with the loot off East Holmes Road.
With that large of shipments and stuff, the odds are not very good that you're going to get away with it.
The task force, led by the FBI, is also made up of the U.S. Marshals Service, Sheriff's Office, and Memphis Police.
We are a target for interstate thefts.
With Memphis being a top distribution hub for the likes of Nike and FedEx, the task force works day and night.
As those items are stolen from the distributors or from the manufacturers, that drives up the retail cost to the consumer.
Cargo theft is a multi-billion-dollar criminal industry.
If we can arrest the organizations that are involved in the theft of it, then that also keeps the consumer price down for the retail customer.
Of the 7,500 pairs of sneakers stolen, 6,800 were recovered. If you have a tip, we've posted a link to the FBI line on WMCActionNews5.com. Kanji Anthony, WMC Action News 5.
Okay. $1 million shoe heist gone.
He made a couple dollars.
He made a couple of dollars, right?
He pays off. He got a few off. Yo, he got a few pairs off, yo.
Man. Dude was trying to steal a trailer load, not just like
like
we got people trying to exactly.
If criminals were geniuses, we wouldn't even have laws.
Oh
This dude
man!
used his own ID.
My man went. He said, "Forget a trailer load of girls."
Oh my God! Ain't you?
Trailer load of bronze. Okay, ridiculous. No, I'm not going to talk about it on the show. Trailer load of what? Come on, you know what the next design is. Oh man.
Yeah.
Dirty wine.
That's it.
Listen, he would have been. Where would he have taken that trailer? Like, would he have tried to like drive it up the coast, or
like
he thought it transformed?
He didn't think about this from the very minute. Like, steal your homie's ID and swipe in.
Yeah, not your own.
Even the worst spy movie in the world has some tips for you, bruh.
Like Spy Kids.
You know?
Man.
Spy Kids tips?
Man. Your own ID, 70, what do you say, 7,000 pairs?
Yeah.
7,000 pairs.
Only 6,800 pair were recovered.
Where are you going with a spare intermodal? These things look weird by themselves anyway.
Exactly. You just pull up. Yo, I need some gas on pump number 4.
Yeah.
How many boxes do you think a year get lost for Nike?
Oh,
constantly, bro. They just busted one last year, a couple years ago here in Omaha.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's built in on a daily basis. How many boxes you get in? We're supposed to get 10. We got like 7.
7. Right. Exactly.
Well, you know.
Who remembers the infamous case of the 70,000 pair that ended up floating in the Pacific Ocean?
Yes. 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 I remember that. And they were showing up like months after.
Years later.
Yeah.
They were showing up years later. Those were solo flights and a bunch of other shoes. I can't remember which models they were, but that's close to 70,000 pairs of sneakers fell into the ocean.
That's crazy.
That is nuts. That is really nuts.
It's painful to watch this and hear this and just think about what's going on for us right now. And I say us as young African American males. It's like, really? In Tennessee? Really?
Don't even get me started on that subject.
He was just gonna show up to the next 3 6 Mafia video. That's all. That's all he was trying to do.
Make it happen too.
Trying to roll up into Cashville like what?
He was gonna put them all on eBay.
Oh my God!
Straight to Flight Club.
Where do you hide it?
Right.
Just the logistics. Where do you hide an intermodal? Wait, probably with some Chinese writing on it, like Hanjin. Like, where do you hide a Hanjin intermodal?
Yo, it was 7,000 pairs of sneakers. Where was he gonna put that?
Bruh.
He was gonna sell them out the truck.
Out the truck.
Out the truck, man.
Oh my God.
Man, he should at least try to mask that with some mixtapes or something. Yeah, my mixtapes is in the truck, man.
You know what it is? Unless he has somebody already lined up that told him. He's like, man, listen, I can get you a whole shipment. He was like, all right.
Yeah. Somebody's
be over here with this truck.
Somebody's shady boutique was about to get wet.
What he really was trying to do was he was trying to take that phrase we always say, back the truck up, literally.
Yeah, pretty much.
or he misunderstood selling them out of the trunk or the truck. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You missed the letter.
I'm just mad his ID. That's still
his ID.
You don't do that.
His ID.
Well, if that wasn't a what the fuck for the night.
Oh, yes.
That's crazy.
We got another one. We've done it before. We've been here before. But we're going to discuss another one that just popped up. That, where are we? Where are we at here? All right, I got to dig this one up.
Our homie Spike Lee was seen rocking these, I think, paper. You know, he's got a spray ground, a couple backpacks at a pop-up shop, and a picture was, I think I saw it
Of the shoes that I'm getting ready to pull up?
Yeah, the
No, he
Spizike.
didn't do that. He was just playing.
Damn.
That's funny.
You stopped that real quick.
He said,
I saw a picture of those, and somebody said something like, "The cement and the elephant print got me." I was like, "Shut up!"
Wow.
I saw that, and I was like, "What are you saying right now?"
With that noise.
I know, right? What are we talking about when we talk such craziness?
Such craziness.
All right, so here we go. I'm about to share on screen. Del Toro, Alchemist, Spizike, Deluxe Spizike.
Wait. Another Jordan ripoff gets the premium leather treatment?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, we got.
I didn't think that's what you were talking about. I thought you were talking about Spizike. What the hell is this?
No, we're talking about these.
We talk about these. I think it was a Photoshop picture. Now that I think about it, it had to have been. It had to have been.
What is that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Let's hope it's not real. Let's just hope.
There's a lot of things I hope it's not real. I'm just saying. I just stop hoping.
Listen, if we live in the age of inflated asses, booties, back shots, whatever you want to call them.
And buying followers online?
Yeah.
So, can we talk about that?
These are real. These are real. Mm-hmm.
Well, here's why I'm not sure, because I went over to that site and I couldn't even get in.
What's the site called? I just see Images Hypebeast. What's the actual site?
The site itself, where they're reported to be sold, is
Shop Alchemist.
The Alchemist store.
Yeah, here it is. They're down in aren't they in Miami?
Yep.
The Alchemist store.
Yeah, here. Here's the link to their
Put it in chat. Oh, you found it. Okay.
Yeah, I found it.
But I couldn't get past the homepage.
Let's see.
Maybe you can only go in. Maybe it's just
flash.
But you can't get out.
Yeah. Maybe it's just a brochure site to be like.
Yeah, I think so.
See us.
So that's what had me wondering if they were real or not.
Yeah.
I think they are.
Oh, they look real enough.
I mean,
well, they're telling me who designed the website every time I go on here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just the link to who designed the site. It'll let you in the actual site itself.
What's the author name? This is something somebody called Ray P. Like, yo, hook me up, pretty much. I mean, I fault Ray P for this. Like, man, why you got your name associated with this?
Yeah, bruh. You should have did that anonymous thing from a few weeks ago.
He's just reporting the news.
Yeah, okay.
He's reporting the news. I ain't mad at that, because some other sites we go to, we don't know who wrote what. We can't.
Come on, Ray. You got good stuff, Ray. It's better than this, Ray.
Do it for the gram.
Yeah, this is bad business.
Is that like fur? No, that's not fur. It's just lopsided. What is going on?
He said, "What is going on?"
I'm trying to make it out. I'm not understanding what's.
Don't look too hard.
That's not.
He was really concerned. He said, "What is going on?"
Yeah, that's not good. Del Toro.
Did you report about Kendrick Lamar signing with Reebok in Miami?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Well, here's a question from our homie, Nabs 0260 DMV. Stand up.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Isn't Kendrick on record literally putting on for the Nike Cortez numerous times?"
Yep.
Of course.
You are correct, sir.
Paying for that.
You are correct.
That's when he was a backpacker and he could only deal with stuff that he got for free.
That's all about the money.
He ain't no backpacker no more.
Kendrick is definitely not a backpacker anymore.
He's trying to get them Ferraris now.
Definitely not.
That's why I like Gambino. He just comes straight out with it. He was like, "I'm rich. Shut up."
Those shoes are just bad business.
What, the Kendrick Lamars?
No, these
oh, the other ones.
Like
Del Toro. things. I don't even like Spizak, so this is already bad. I'm biased.
All right, so we had some news come out today. For those who are watching, and you might want to spread the word, we are looking for interns in New York and in the Worcester/Boston area. But tomorrow, unofficially I'm announcing here, but tomorrow the details will be made known of 3 positions that we have been asked to find people for a boutique in New York. So
nice.
We'll begin the process of spreading the word and pre-screening people to pass along to our friends at these boutiques to make sure that the right people end up getting the right opportunities working for certain stores going forward. That's one of our initiatives here at OSD that going into 2015 we're going to look to really push forward and do to make sure that people see, again, that there's another side to the business besides what you camped out for and how much you can get for it 2 days later. And also to just begin to build the next generation of professionals in numerous disciplines in the athletic footwear industry. But so many people have the same issue, which is opportunity and starting point, which is one of the reasons why we started social studies. So we're putting our money where our mouth is, and we're starting the initiative to start getting people hired, paid, not paid, whatever, but still putting them in the position to get a launch pad into wherever they want to go in the athletic footwear industry. So today we posted for the internship position for New York. D. Wells soon will be posting and spreading the word for the internship position up in the New England area. And the paid positions will be posting information about tomorrow. And I won't say serious applicants only, because you know how we get down. So whoever's really about it, we'll figure that out really quick. But the truth is, with us being the first line of defense before we pass you on to the people who trust us, we're going to figure it out. You won't get past us. So we really need people who really want to do this, and appreciative of an opportunity to hit us up. Info at OSD Live, Paper Chaser, PAPERCHASR at OSD Live, DEE at OSD Live. However you can reach us, hit us up, and we're very interested in pushing this new initiative into 2015 and get people hired and in the right position so that they can enjoy the business and enjoy sneakers again. So hit us up.
What were the 3 positions? I stepped away. I don't know if you said them for the people.
I did not say what they are, but they'll be.
Oh, okay.
And of course, as you know, you'll know.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking to do. And wherever we're spread out across this country and around the world, it's not going to be any different where those opportunities present themselves. So stay tuned, sneaker lovers and disorderlies around the world. We're trying to do something new and different and put money where our mouths are as far as trying to get people paid one way or another from their love of sneakers.
Nice.
Anybody want to say anything about that?
Get ready to work. That's all I'm going to say. Get ready to work.
Word.
The payoff is great.
Word. And that new emerging market in Omaha, Nebraska is going to be nice.
Yes, sir.
That new emerging market there. Shout out to Sharice Thornhill doing the emerging markets thing.
True.
We got our own version of that over here in the ONE.
Yes, sir.
We got goats running around with sweaters on in the ONE. You didn't think I saw that, did you? Ridiculous.
Yeah, I didn't. That's good. That's a good catch.
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh man.
I'm just wondering if you designed the sweater because it looked. It looked. I'm just saying. It looked. It looked.
I heard things.
That sweater that goat was wearing, it looked.
Oh man.
All right, so where are we at to wrap up episode number 330?
We got to talk about. I want to talk about how people are using Instagram, the gram,
Yes, sir.
to sell products. Like, not just, we talk about sneakers, of course, but I'm noticing lately, maybe just because it's the holiday season, people are using it to market and, more importantly, sell products.
Well, Instagram actually plugged in sponsored accounts.
Yeah.
I'm noticing that. I saw LL Bean today.
Yep. LL Bean's big.
And I saw, I think, Svedka Vodka.
Yep.
The other day.
They'll roll right up into your feed and look like a normal thing.
So is that what what's your take on that? Are we going to see more companies pay to get in there?
I don't know that it's that is a formula that the world of marketing has been trying to figure out since the advent of this mass onslaught of people. How do you monetize a social network when people are really there just to interact with each other? It still hasn't settled in most marketers' brains that you can't do anything with it. A social network meant for people to connect with each other will always sniff out the retail component. Now, whether or not they use it, there's a lot of clicking that happens, but the numbers do not support the return on investment. And so it's tricky for companies. They're sitting on these mass quantities of people and they don't know how to monetize it because they can't get past the legal ramifications of it's a private network for the most part. It's a sign-on network that you're there to connect with other people. The very nature of the business is stopping their emerging market.
Well, take a look at this. On my screen right now, I pulled up one particular, and shout out to Corgi Shoe, who he had a crazy online presence on eBay. And then once Instagram became more, he was one of the early adopters of moving sneakers on Instagram. It used to be just with pictures and text. Right. And then when finally Instagram caught up with Vine and other social media apps like Feed and whatnot, added video, he does just that. He sells sneakers using Instagram.
Yeah,
he's going to go directly to
direct to the client. Yep,
direct to the client. And once the sneaker is sold, he's very straightforward. He says, if a sneaker is sold, the video is removed. Don't sell on my page. Buyers always email. Email I want to buy, and he gives his email, and there it is. Real simple.
Yep.
15-second videos.
There's a couple of people that do that. As I've been on my hiatus from buying shoes, I was like, my next purchase might just be off Instagram because some of these dudes got sizes of things that I want versus going to a store. And again, the battle and the conversation of what the experience is in store, and as Ridiculous said, monetizing that, understanding how to get a return on investment off brand collateral. And that's where the companies are missing. Instagram and the social medias will give you brand collateral because people like your brand as well. They're discussing it. That's great. But you're losing them when they come to the store and it's not the same. You don't have employees that are giving that brand message. You don't have imaging. You don't have visual messaging that's aligned and cohesive with what they feel on social media. And so you lose.
To Jesse's point, it speaks to a very particular subset of a subset of a subset. So it's not unlike eBay, where you want to define those hard to find things that somebody else might have used. Same here, even with Corgi Shoe. He's selling very particular things to very particular people, but there's none of that brand interaction. There's none of that messaging. There's none of that, second, third, fourth tier sales when I'm there for a basketball shoe and I want to get some shorts, or I just want to browse. You might sell me something because I got $50+ in my pocket and I'm scratching my chin hairs as I look at the wall. I think selling on selling on Instagram is still going to be a tough call because this is a perfect example. LL Bean is here. that what they have is this is basically a living, breathing style sheet. And if you identify with their style sheet, then maybe you'll go ahead and click farther. I don't know that it's meant to directly impact sales on Instagram, but it's meant to interact with you on your level. So here we are. We're looking at beautiful pictures. Everybody takes a picture. There's a story with every picture. This is brand storytelling. Wow. Look at that shot. Damn, LL Bean is cool. I wonder what kind of boots, duck boots, blah, blah, blah. Click, click, click. Now you're on their site.
Right.
That's what they're hoping to do is basically blend in on the social level.
Right.
And then by the time you've clicked through, oh, no, I'm friends with LL Bean on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where you look at something like, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but you look at something like this, like that last picture we looked at, it had a picture, but it also had whose picture it was. So when you're on a social network and you have a brand say, hey, I like the way that you represent our brand, I'm going to give you credit for your snapshot, and we appreciate you expressing our brand that way, then you're going to get some brand collateral, and they're going to say to whoever is at that lake with their friend, oh, I picked up these boots at LL Bean. They've been a great product, and I really like shopping there. That's your return on investment. If you're not getting that from social media, you're wasting your time. And a lot of brands don't know how to do that because they're not that connected with their product. They're simply looking at the spreadsheet.
There's a company on there that basically paved the way for this. There's a few of them, but one of them that has done the best job far before official seller accounts or brand accounts on Instagram was Polar, the outdoor company, smaller
Camp Vibes.
Camp Vibes, man, Camp Vehicles, Camp Vibes. They basically made disciples of their audience who liked their products, and just it's Poler, yeah. They just went off with Polar stuff, and it's a boutique vibe. They're a smaller kind of startup LL Bean type, but man, their hashtag Camp Vibes it blows up with people coming to get their stuff, coming to look at their style sheets, and they do the same thing. They give props to the people who are taking the pictures. It makes you feel like you're part of something. It makes you feel like you are helping write the brand story, and pretty soon, there you go.
Polar started REI's new campaign. Everything that's outdoor, camping-wise right now, was started by Polar. Every outdoor brand is like, how can I express my brand as authentically as Polar did? And unless you're committed to the brand as opposed to what you're selling, you'll never do it. It's not about what hashtag you associated with the picture. It's the mood of the brand. And so the agency that told REI, hey, if this is the market you're going for, this is how your social media campaign needs to run, which is where you had Camp is Fun, REI Project 2014, Live Outside, all those things. That all came from Polar's success.
Yep.
Well, I guess the one thing that's missing that I guess is a good and bad thing for me is it is ridiculous, as you alluded to, that ability to just click on an image and go right over to e-commerce.
Right.
I'm ambivalent about that because the minute that ability kicks in, they're going to turn into Facebook.
Yep. Well, and the funny thing is Facebook owns Instagram, and that's where they ran into trouble because they were trying to own people's pictures.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the tricky part is, like I said, there's a critical mass moment in which the balance, there's a tipping point. You know, I know that gets overused by intellectuals and mock intellectuals alike, but there is a tipping point at which enough is going to be enough, and if you want more, you'll kill it. You know, this Camp Vibes is a perfect example. You gotta deputize people to tell their stories, and sit back and foster that, and almost in a Zen type of way, let it come back to you. Let it come back to you naturally, authentically, because, like you said, if there's a click through and you can direct buy, there are going to be some that are going to do that for the convenience. There are going to be some that follow the technology, like, oh, this is cool, I can buy it straight from here. But there's going to be a complete loss of authenticity.
Yeah.
In which, wait, Now you're not telling me a story. You're selling me something, and whether I like you or not, I'm done.
Hey, you're not telling me a story. You're selling me a story.
They are a brand driver. There's no question about it. You can look at their page. You can go through their page, and you will know what is going to be the hot items for Fall 16 right now. I can tell you right now what Nike's going to put out. You can see what jackets people are going to put out, and you're going to see what kind of backpacks you'll see in the next hype right now. Not this. What's coming.
Well, the reason why it's dope is because you can't click on anything and buy it right away.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Half the stuff on here released last week at a special party here. So even if you go to the website, you probably can't buy it because it was released at a party here and it's gone.
So I love that boundary in this execution. I love that boundary. Yeah. Oh, you really want it? Oh, you really want it?
They intermingle it so well with lifestyle and storytelling. One of the most popular things that Polar does are things they don't even make. It's these silly camp vehicles. And people take pictures of the weirdest camp vehicles that they can find, and then they'll send them in. And they'll tag them. They got the weirdest camp vehicles that you like things you could never imagine are out there on the roads and on the rocks, and people they send them in. This is one of their most popular things, Adventure Mobile. That hashtag. That's a Polar hashtag. They started it. Adventure Mobile. Go take a picture. If you see somebody getting it in out in the woods in a weird truck, send it to us because that's our vibe. That's what we do. Off the beaten path. That's Polar. And they intermingle that. So you got these weird vehicles. You got pictures of people's feet. You got pictures of people out there in the woods doing their thing. Oh, and then there's an official one of a closeout sale ad. You know?
Well, we got a couple of comments from the Twitterverse. Shout out to Dino Hatfield, Baltimore Sneaker Show Stand Up. In response to the question we put out on Twitter, how do you feel about Instagram being used for sneaker sales? His response was, if a platform isn't used for kicks, it's not a platform. He's passionate about the integration of kicks into various social media platforms. Shout out to Dino. What's good, homie?
I don't understand that comment. If it's not a platform, if you're not selling kicks on it, so everything he's about is just selling kicks.
Well, I took it to mean because sneakers have transcended so many social media outlets now. What social media outlet isn't good for sneakers these days?
Oh, okay. So there's crossover. Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm clearing that up.
Because it's the reach, the scope of it. Yeah. The broad reach means it's worth the time. Again, I still don't see it being. There's the one thing that I think this entire generation is missing, and I'm tired of hearing stories about people getting got. Then grow the hell up and do regular business. There's no protection selling on Instagram. There's no account protection. There's no fraud protection. There's none of that.
Right.
Get a damn bank account. You know, if you do with PayPal, you have protections for sellers, but you can't just transfer money. Most people don't even know the right button to click in PayPal so that you're protected. If you're giving a gift, you're giving your money away. There's no protection on gift money in PayPal. Kids, pay attention. There's no gift money in PayPal. If somebody doesn't want to own up and pay the fee, don't transact with them, because that means you are not protected. They can take your money and they don't have to give you shit, because gift money, friends and family money, is not protected on PayPal.
So here's another question. So we're talking about specifically, Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So how does someone, and I'm seeing it more, I'm paying more attention to it, companies are now trying to use Snapchat.
Oh, yeah, that one's, I don't know how that's going to work.
To market and sell product and, force you to look at something, and then all of a sudden what happens?
And
it
transfer
disappears.
money.
Exactly.
Bruh, you just, even the thought of it, okay, kids, here we go again. Anything where the picture is supposed to disappear, I ain't giving you no money. It flies against the very nature of what that thing was.
Giving money, right? But we're seeing more and more companies use Snapchat to market. You know, right now what we have with Instagram, you have pictures, you have video, right? You can link that to Twitter, Facebook, Flickr.
Yeah.
And I think there's a couple other.
Right.
If I open the app, there's a couple other sites, social media apps or sites you can push it to. What's next for Instagram? Is there something else that Instagram can do? Is it in-app purchasing?
I think it's capitalism at its finest, where we don't have an off button. They're gonna use Instagram until it breaks. They will ignore the tipping point.
Really?
I want them to keep that boundary, because the reason why Corgi Shoe is so successful is because they knew him before the internet, if you will.
Right. Yeah, absolutely right.
So, and he said he has a setup where you have to deal with him. You have to build a relationship with him for these transactions. You're not just going to click through and then money's going to appear and then he's got to go ship out shoes and not know who the hell you were in one way, shape, or form.
Right.
Until there's a problem. Like, if you like the shoe, you got to deal with him. And no big corporation is going to be willing to go that far because you just don't have the manpower for that.
Exactly. It creates an entirely new silo of internet retail transactions and all the business entailed with that, from security to customer service to fulfillment.
You don't want to play that game, and no one should venture into that game. I mean, the one thing about Facebook where it works and it doesn't work is, corporations start setting up Facebook pages for you to interact and tell people how you feel about their product and everything. But the most they can do from there is a hyperlink to something that takes you away from Facebook.
Exactly.
Which Instagram doesn't have that.
We just went through trying to get people to understand that with ads. Now, show of hands, how many people have willingly clicked on a damn ad in Facebook? Very few.
Very few, right.
But Facebook is making millions of dollars a month for people buying ad clicks and touches and impressions, thinking that this mass amount of people zombified in Facebook are looking on that little bar on the side. No one clicks there. It's free money for Facebook.
Yeah. Totally, because you gotta pay. You pay per click for the advertising.
I mean, and you look at that conversation. We talk about this all the time. And as somebody who's on the grind, trying to think in a strategic way, understand how to have these conversations with people in these corporate buildings. Just because that's where people gather does not mean that's what's happening. There's a difference. You have to understand the psychology about this. E. Scott, I don't want to know what you like. I want to go to your house and see your closet. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. That's how I'm going to know how to sell to you. What's in your closet?
What's in your closet?
You take care of, what you keep. That is where I want to design from. Not how you got there, because anybody can buy a car to get there. But how did you take care of it? How did you keep it? What do you really like? What attracted you to it? Facebook is not where you go for those things. Facebook is, again, for people interaction. And so you're not going to get those clicks. I mean, that's it feels like to me common sense, but it's not common.
So I want to
premise if you don't shit where you eat.
Right. And I want to share this comment. This came from D. Sickle. Shout out D. Sickle in good old Texas. He says on Twitter, I don't mind individuals selling in IG. It's the same as Twitter. But brands doing it feels disingenuous and unauthentic.
Very good point.
Very good point. Thank you, D. Sickle.
And whether people can articulate that, we all feel it. We all feel that little dirty feeling, even if we don't know what to call it, even if we can't articulate it like my man D. Sickle just did. We all know when something's like ill.
What up, homie? Been a long time.
You wanted to hear a funny story about D. Sickle? I don't know who he is at all, but he was one of the first blogs I ever discovered online and was following when it came to photographs and pictures and graphic design.
Oh, he's good. He's good peeps.
I was like, he had like this Wu-Tang stuff up, and I was like, this is cool.
Peeps. What up, D?
Attention, but that's where it's crazy how that came around. It's funny.
All right, so where we at next, D? What's the next IG topic since we're doing it for the gram?
Doing it for the gram, man.
Grand finale topic.
We got topics by the grams.
Uh-oh, and Need Heat got a question. Need Heat. Texas in the house.
Where's he at?
Or Atlanta, excuse me, Atlanta.
Where's he at?
Man,
Where he at?
What's going on, man? I'm out here grinding, trying
Where
to
you
give
at,
out,
Heat?
trying to send out. Hello, can you hear me?
Come on, bro.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, all right. I'm out here trying to get these flyers out for this sneaker holiday party we got going on Sunday.
Nice.
So I'm in the truck, but just to piggyback off that last conversation you guys were having, how do y'all feel about all the brands, aka Nike and Foot Locker, sending out their Twitter link basically for a shoot? You know what I'm saying? Like, I came on late, so I don't know if y'all talked about that or not.
That's a very good topic, Leo. I don't mind that as much because that's use of a social platform for the spreading of communication. So that's to say, yo, we got a sale going on.
It's funny that you say that because you are the reason why I asked that question when you just said the companies, it feels kind of, even if you don't know it, it feels, and it's funny because as soon as you said that, that's what I thought about. Because when they started doing that, I felt like, you know what? That's the reason why I don't even want any. I haven't bought release date shit in years because of that. Right. You know what I mean? Because it feels so unauthentic. It feels like, here, take this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, come get it. You know, you dummies, come get it. You know, that's how I feel when I see a Twitter link. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's up for you guys, you dummies, to come get it. You know what I mean? Come on, get it.
I can definitely understand that. The reason I don't mind that as much, because I hear what you're saying. You're right. I don't mind it as much because if it's a company that I'm following that I like what they're doing, and this is the social way for them to interact and share information with me, like, hey Steve, we got an alert for you, and we happen to know you spend some time on Twitter. You know, if this was Dick Blick Art Supplies and they hit me with a $30 30% coupon, yo, I do need to stop by Blick and pick up some supplies. Much obliged, Blick, for hitting me in a communication sense where I reside.
Yeah, but isn't that what an email blast is for? To me, I feel like it's different from an email blast point of view. I feel like that's a personalized. You're sending that to my mail. I feel, you know, and I know it's not because I know they're blasting out to everybody. But I just feel different when I get an email saying, "Hey, here's a coupon." Versus Twitter.
That's a good thought. So here's the analogy I would give for that: AM radio, FM radio, XM radio. You don't listen to AM, they're gonna hit you. They're gonna try and find a way to find you on XM. If I don't check my email and I got a ton of shit going to spam, but I know that they can hit me on Twitter because that's selected follows and people that I actually chose, then it's the exact same thing. It's just a different channel. That's what we would call it in a marketing sense. If we were sitting in a marketing meeting right now, we would literally call email, Twitter, and Instagram a channel.
Different channel.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that
you know what? From that point of view, I can feel that. But and I'm gonna make this crazy comment. I know I'm one of the only ones that still do it, but I do listen to AM. So you know, like,
that's where you get good radio.
Right. I'm about to say, to me, that's where the real shit is still there. It's still there.
I still talk radio.
But I feel, you know what? That's a great point. Like I said, if anything, I had to make that point because that's exactly how as soon as you said that, saying, you know, when a company is doing it versus when an individual is doing it, I feel, and we all feel that way, even if you don't know how to articulate it. Yeah. As soon as you said that, I felt, I was thinking about Twitter and Instagram and them saying, hey, you dummies, come get it.
And you know something? There's a good point that you bring up because there's a difference and this goes deep, so I won't go too far into it for those who aren't really like me and Jesse, we know how this works, so we get into it. There's a difference between a bot, like a spider, or an actual person clicking buttons on that Twitter account. I once had a complaint about how a car dealership had treated me, and they picked that up in their...
Oh, the Matrix get him?
The Matrix got him.
Person. Look at
Oh, no, there he is.
Oh, he's back. There you are.
Oh, did I get stuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there's I'll restart. I had a problem at a car dealership once. I was not happy with how they treated me. I voiced that concern on Twitter. About an hour later, they responded in kind, a direct response that said, "We are sorry. Please explain to us what happened." And we start interacting. Okay, that's a person over there. That's authentic. And it was a brand.
Right.
If it were just a bot that says, "We're sorry, here's a coupon," and then I look on their feed, because you can see their feed, and there's a bunch of "We're sorry, here's a coupon," then you know that's inauthentic.
Well, I mean, I do that to airlines. If I have a bad experience on an airline, I blow them up while I'm in my seat.
Yep.
I'm like, yo, this is terrible experience. And I do that just to see, is this a person or not?
Yep.
Because, you know, they're not hiring for those jobs. And now they're trying to hire people because they realize they're trying to get that authentic. So they're trying to hire people, but the people they're hiring don't understand the brand. And so the messages are still coming across wrong.
All of us human beings are born with a barometer that can tell the interaction of another human being. That's Darwinism. That's creationism. Call it what you want. We are fantastic machines, and we don't always give ourselves credit for that recognition. We know when we're being bullshitted. We know when that's not another human being over there. Call it intuition. Call it instinct. We're programmed with that. So that's where that ill feeling comes from, because we're like, wait a minute. I don't care what the subject is. I don't care what we're doing. That's inauthentic. Something is artificial on that other side, and that's where it becomes a problem, because, and we say it all the time, we talk about it a lot. It's a buzzword, but it's communication. If you're not communicating, then it's hollow, and we can tell that.
Well, I tell you for a fact, Verizon is real, because those motherfuckers heard me earlier this year. They reached out to me like they had to send an envoy over here, like, "Hey, excuse me."
And that's the power of Twitter. That's the beauty of it. If really something goes on, you can blast the company right away, and they have no control over it.
We are closer to
You can tarnish them in a minute. You can be like, U.S. Airways sucks. And
we are
like,
closer to our sources of information.
Yo, I kept lobbing those bombs. And he knows how mad Verizon made me for about 6 months earlier this year.
Those are the things, like Sean is saying, those are the things where it's like, you know, like Ridiculous said, we get deep on these things and try not to go too deep, but the control. You want to be able to control everything. And this is a segment of marketing where the bigs have not figured out how to control it, because it doesn't show up on a balance sheet. And when it does, it's negative.
Yep.
Right. And they're like, how do you control this?
We joked about the Matrix earlier. That's what one of those lines in the movie. I love when intellectual bombs get dropped in movies. He said, "We tried to make it perfect, but your primitive intellect wouldn't accept it."
That's true.
Yeah.
So what Jesse is saying is right. There's a rudimentary part of our nature, a primal part of our nature that doesn't show up on a balance sheet. Human nature will never be monetized.
You can't do it. It's not possible. You can't.
Because it's a variable. It's a variable. We are adaptation machines. If we see something that we don't like, we will change course.
You have to commit to it. There's a difference between trying to control something or commit to it, and that's where some of these brands are lost. Are you committed to athletes and sport and inspiration, or are you committed to making the next dollar the best way possible? Nike an athletic brand, or Nike are the best marketing company?
They're the best marketing company in the world for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So there should not be a question about how come we're not inspired or why do they keep doing that. You know why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah, we do.
You know what I'm saying?
I know why you're wearing that hat as you say that.
I'm not fooled. We all know I'm not fooled. We all know I'm not fooled.
What you say? There's a reason why 3 Stripes is everywhere in Steve's house.
I can't even reach for anything to pull up right now.
Oh man.
I can go old school. Oh, here goes one. I could go old school.
There you go. Yes.
What is that?
Yes.
Oh my
Annie?
goodness.
Town Saturday night.
Uh-oh. Yes, sir.
I would like to talk to you.
But I said that in the sense of like, Anita Heat was like, I'm sick of these release dates, and I'm like, I still have a hard time thinking and talking about release dates, because what is a release date? Release dates, in my mind, are what has ruined the game. Period. Because there's no excitement then. You're just being set up like a dummy with a release date.
Yeah, but you have to realize too, the release date thing is directly tied back to the fact that shareholders want answers. They want to see production, performance, revenue. They want to see all of that stuff. The thing that we don't like about release dates is it takes away the fun for us in sneakers as a cultural.
No, because if it's gonna sell, it's gonna sell.
Here's the funny thing about a release date.
It'll just go.
Here's the funny thing about a release date. That the irony of it, should I say? A few of us, most of us actually on the call tonight, are old enough to know when Jordan 1, Jordan 2, Jordan 3 in its OG form. Guess what? If you worked at Foot Locker, there's a printed sheet that had a date on it. Release dates ain't new.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Reaction to release dates.
No, published release dates is new.
Right, published release dates.
That's what messed up.
Published release dates is new. Those release dates on the back end of retail, those had to exist.
Right.
And the thing about it was, as a consumer, you didn't know those dates unless you worked in the company. But even if you didn't work in the company, you were a part of the culture enough to understand the seasonal cycles. Basketball's coming up. The Jordans come out in February. You know what I mean? So you didn't worry about what day in February. You just knew February you had to have some money.
It might not be published, but I live right down when I was in high school. Our high school was right down the road, walking distance, a long hoof, but we would walk it from the mall. And believe me, release dates might not have been published, but somehow all the fellas at Creighton Prep knew when to walk down with their lunch money to pick up them fours.
But that was only because you and your boys were into
the published release date of certain product, of course, is directly tied to revenue and earnings and reporting. It has to be.
Absolutely. It's a marker. Yeah, like you said, it's a marker to be able to have an actual measurable moment to say, look at the spike.
Well,
exactly.
they have to do that.
That's the part of it that back in the days when we all originally got into shoes.
Okay, that's fine, but then don't publish it.
Well, you have to publish it because
even if you don't publish it,
publishing it is control.
But
publishing it to your shareholders shows you're not just sitting back throwing stuff out and we hope.
No, yeah, you can publish it to your shareholders, but when you market, when you have a marketing campaign around release dates.
But see, here's that human nature thing.
Why would you do that?
Here's that human nature thing. Although none of us really knew the exact date, we all knew somebody that worked at that store, and we all got out in droves. I remember in college, knowing the day the 12 was coming out.
But think about it. See, but that goes back to what we said before. You used to have to cultivate those relationships to get that information.
Exactly.
Now you don't have to do that. And the thing is, I wish they did not publish
because I can't hear Leo at all tonight.
I hate the fact that they publish it simply because it takes, not only does it take the fun out of it, it's lazy. Motherfuckers is lazy now. People are lazy simply because all I got to do is go make a couple of clicks, and I can find out when something comes out, and then all I got to do is get 5 or 6 people to get a ticket, to get a goddamn ticket the day or 2 weeks before. Come on, man.
Here's the thing. Understand this. In the literary world, we would call this self-publishing. Now those people that work at that store have Twitter, have Instagram. If you want to know that date, you're going to know that date, and it ain't coming from Nike. So Nike says, you know what, we got to control this because people know these dates already.
Mm-hmm. The minute
we have to
but understand something. Understand something. Think about it. It still would not be as crazy as it is if they didn't, because the bottom line is, like you said, they would have people self-publishing. You would have some people doing that, but at the same time, you still have to follow that person. You still have to cultivate that relationship.
Here's why I think it would be crazier. If they didn't publish, because self-publishing would become hoarding. And then only certain people would know the dates, and they would only share it with their certain people. You'd have more violence at the store. You'd have more problems.
No, I don't agree with that.
I don't necessarily agree with that because really and truly,
on the sidelines on this one.
Really and truly, they could easily do it the same way they do when they tell you, hey, this is a release date. Do not sell before this date. Now, we all know if you sell it before that date, you're taking a risk of losing your account. You see what I'm saying? And the thing is, they could do the same thing if they wanted to, but like you said, it's more it's easy publicity for them. That's the reason why they do it.
It's an easy way out. It's an easy marketing.
It's the easy way out. Exactly.
Let's just build around this date and build hype on this date, and we've all seen what the hype does. But back in the day, there was no hype because one, you had to have the relationship, and two, you most likely found out the day. It's coming out Friday or it's coming out Thursday.
Yeah.
The store
but we know the game's changed though, and that's.
I'm not arguing.
I fully agree with what you're saying. I don't dispute any of that. I'm just saying self-publishing would happen. People would find out the dates, and like D just said, the dates are malleable. They move all the time.
Would that be more authentic than them telling us?
I don't think it's either. I don't think it's inauthentic that they tell us. All they're doing is responding to the hype. Exactly. They're responding to people's desires.
People want the information.
We only have ourselves to blame when it comes to release dates because they know it's
information hoarders. Right, we're information hoarders. Yeah. We want the information. We want it months in advance.
Yeah.
You know,
that's how they control phone calls to the store. When's that coming out? Y'all getting that?
Boom, boom, boom.
Y'all getting that? We want the info, so they gave it to us. We shot ourselves in the foot with that one. As a culture, I'm not saying us personally, but I'm saying as a culture, our thirst and desire to know when I can get my hands on that, which started with unpublished release dates, and certain people having the info and passing it only to their friends.
We don't want to wait. We don't want to wait.
I need to know. So they said, cool, we'll let you know.
Here you go.
We'll market around it.
Here we go.
And we'll make it a big event. We'll all have some fun.
Man.
So I think it's one of those self-fulfilling prophecies where we got what we asked for and now we don't like it.
True. Well, it's about that time, man. We did it. We did it for the gram.
Before we go, D. Wells, one more announcement before I let you wrap it up. We also have to announce this weekend Milwaukee Sneaker Summit is popping.
Oh yes.
Head on over to sneakersummit.com for the details on the Milwaukee Sneaker Summit promo video out all over the place. The Milwaukee Bucks promo video promoting the summit with some of the Milwaukee Bucks players. And also, Kadoma wanted me to know also that, again, as far as hiring and positions go, head on over to sneakersummit.com. Sneakersummit.com is hiring and looking for people. So there's a whole lot of opportunities out there between now and the new year and beyond. So make sure you hit us up. You know where to find us all out. So
one thing I want everyone to know that's listening to the show about these new opportunities is that the game is changing and the landscape is changing, and we are at the forefront of those changes. And so these positions are setting you up for the knowledge of tomorrow. Yep. As the industry changes, we are nimble enough and smart enough and connected enough to move with it. Therefore, these positions are not your everyday positions. This is where your creativity, your ingenuity, and your passion will come through.
Yeah, what he said. He just dropped the mic.
Yeah.
He ain't no joke. He used to let the mic smoke. So D. Wells, episode 330, do it for the gram was one for the ages.
He's in the Matrix.
He's in the Matrix. We'll get him out in a minute. But that's going to be it for us for episode number 330. Do it for the gram. We'll be back next week with episode number 331. You got any comments, questions, concerns, whatever, please send them to us at info@OSDLive. We'll be sure to find a way to address them in some way, shape, or form, as we always do. Sole Doctors, we're here. You know where to find us through all the social media outlets, as we so thoroughly discuss. And no, we did not buy friends and followers. not a one of us. Let's just be clear on that.
Nah.
You will not see much. You will not see much change in our account as of tomorrow.
and if it is, from support from you, and thank you.
Yes, if it is, it's gonna go up. So we gotta roll out. D Wells is he back? Yes, D Wells is back.
I'm sorry about that, y'all.
It's all good. It's time for you to take us out of here, brother.
Time for us to roll out.
Yes,
Man.
Roll out.
Roll out. Oh man.
Gotta keep it lighthearted.
All right. It's been good. It's been fun. Y'all come back and walk with us, talk with us next week for OSD, Obsessive Sneaker Disorder. This is episode 330. Do it for the gram. Keep your laces tight, tightly your tongue loose. And what do we say, people? Walk good. Salute.